This is the 2024 Porsche Macan Turbo Electric. Is it worth every penny? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today we borrowed this Macan Turbo Electric from our friends at Porsche Shreveport. If you want to come in and buy this exact model, check out the link down in the description of the video. Tell whoever you talk to that Tom from Vehicle Visionary sent you. And I'm gonna just kind of get out of the way and let Austin come up and give you some close-up looks with this, because it is absolutely stunning. The exterior color is called Copper Ruby Metallic. It is beautiful in this bright Louisiana sunshine. And as we take a look here at the front end, we're gonna have our full LED lighting. You're gonna notice one thing we don't have is gonna be the active air curtains, but everything here typical of Porsche because it all has a purpose. The name of the game with any EV, obviously efficiency, aerodynamics, everything needs to help out to keep that charge capacity as high as possible. So the overall lines of the vehicle look great, but they're also meant to help keep that charge capacity as high as possible for as long as possible. And as we work our way across the front end, of course, we're gonna have our Porsche logo right here. Notice the difference right there. Tell me in the comments if you know what that is. There is a difference where that is concerned. And how about the tire and wheel setup? 255 on the width, 40 series sidewall wrapped around 22-inch wheels on the front tires. Now that's going to change a little bit when we go to the rear tires. A little bit more width back there. That is going to be 295 on the width, a 35 series sidewall, but again wrapped around the 22-inch wheels. And we'll work our way back up here to the front. We're going to have the obvious electric logo right there. And as we work our way up to those side view mirrors that are power folding, by the way, so you're going to see that right there in action. Carbon fiber for your mirror caps. I don't say that too often, but that is genuine carbon fiber, as you can imagine with Porsche. Turn signal indicators built in. They're power adjustable. They're heated. Everything is there that you're expecting to see. And here is the remote. So there you go. You can take a look at what's there. You can also see the Porsche crest this way. Kind of interesting how it seems like that should go in the other direction, honestly, so that when you have the remote this way and you see all the buttons right there, that logo should be upside down, the right side up really from what it is right now. At least that's my thought on the matter. Tell me what you think about that. Carbon fiber also going to be found right down here. We're going to have quite a few carbon fiber accents on and around the vehicle that really set it off just as it should. Roof rails up top. We're going to have, of course, the panoramic sunroof. Nothing unusual where that's concerned, but I love the roof line here. Again, not only meant to look sporty, but that's going to help out with those aerodynamics. And that's why you don't have that rear roof spoiler back here, kind of cutting down on that drag. So I can't really say anything about the fact that you have an exposed rear window wiper because, well, where else is it going to go? And here's something interesting with your LED taillights. When you come back here, you see this, it makes it make you think of an air conditioner vent adjustment. I want to adjust the angle of my taillights. At least that's the way it looks to me. And our Porsche logo, turbo, obviously, going to be here on the rear. And overall, a very clean look in this rear area. Now we're going to work our way back up to the front. I'm going to get through the shot right there. Sorry about that. Work our way back up here to the front. I'm going to just push the button here on the remote. We're going to hold that button down. You'll notice that the front automatically opens. Now you don't have a lot of space here. It's only 3 cubic feet, but there is some space here for some luggage or whatever will fit. You've got the little partition right there to help out whatever you put in here. That way it's not rolling all over the place where that's concerned. If you need to fill your windshield washer fluid reservoir, here's where you do that, in case you were wondering. And we're going to do this the right way. I'm not going to slam it. Nobody can say anything in the comments. And how about all of those numbers that I know all of you want to know about, horsepower and torque? Here's everything, and as I'm giving you that information, I'm going to let Austin show you around the vehicle just a little bit. So we have an AC permanent synchronous motor, 470 kilowatts, which equates to 630 horsepower, 833 pounds-feet of torque. It is a monster out on the road. Your MPGEs are going to come in at 99 city, 84 highway, and 91 combined. How about our charging time? Now, if you go with the slowest charging time, we're looking at 11.5 hours. So it just depends on what you're doing and where you're charging. 21 minutes on a DC fast charger to go from 10% to 80%. Now, here are some very impressive numbers. 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. Top speed, 162 miles an hour. That might not sound really fast compared to some other vehicles out there, but I'm going to tell you what, this thing is unbelievable quick, as you're going to see on our test drive. And how about your charging ports? Well, we have actually two different charging ports. First of all, one over here on the passenger side, but you're going to notice something that's missing here. You can't use the DC fast charger, but you know what? That doesn't mean it's not here. We're going to go over to the driver's side here, and there's a couple of different ways you can open those, just like what I just did right there. Sometimes these are a little tricky, probably just my lack of experience. Let's see if it'll work for me. Come on. There we go. And you're going to notice right here, there you go. You can use the DC fast charger right there. If you have any trouble getting this to open like that, I got it to open there. But you can also do this from the infotainment screen. Now, you can use the remote to open this power tailgate, but there's also a button right here. So if you're facing the vehicle, the right side of the camera. So I'm going to push that button, and that's going to open up. And I'm going to let Austin show you around in there just a little bit. Here are our numbers, 16.9 to 19 cubic feet. But we also go up to 45.4 to 47.6 cubic feet. That cargo cover that's right up here is easily removable. Not a big deal to deal with. And you can see, I'm going to get our backpack out of the way here so you can see inside there. Have the seats lowered down to maximize cargo space. You'll also have your cargo lighting on each side. I like that. And here's something that's convenient. I'm just going to show you that it's here. But to lower those rear seats, all you have to do is pull on this right here. Now, one more thing I do want to show you from the inside that I know is very useful in my personal opinion is the fact that there is another way to set things up right here. And that is right here where you lower this area, where you would normally lower the armrest with the fold down armrest with the cup holders built in. You just reach up. I'm going to show you how to do this in just a second, but you just reach up. There's a latch right there. That gives you a nice pass through, another option for cargo capacity. All right, let's talk about what your rear seat passengers are going to find. Now, you can't really change the recline angle of these seat backs, but they do have some recline built into them, so that's a good thing. And I don't feel cramped back here, so I like that. Plenty of headroom. I'm 5'10", so if you're over 6 feet tall, 6'1", 6'2", you definitely need to grab the remote or call shotgun. And as far as the door panel goes, I hope you can see the ambient lighting that's there on the door. I don't know how well that's showing up from Austin's angle, but hopefully you can see that. We also have a nice size armrest, and then obviously a good size door bin / bottle holder down there, so that works really well. As far as a little bit of extra storage goes, you're going to have the rear seat pockets, more of a net style material right there. And for you parents out there that have little ones, I like that. You don't have to remove anything and keep up with anything. So it's just a hinged cover. When not in use, you just put that back like that. Now, let me show you what I was talking about earlier with the release right here. It's right inside here. So you're just going to put your hand in there. There's a release. You'll feel it. You can't see it, so we can't show it to you. But then you just let the seat down. Pretty easy to deal with. And then there's another release right there that allows you to fold down the armrest. And yay, Porsche, my favorite style of armrest. Why? Because of the location of the cup holders. So here's the thing. If there's a bottle here and a bottle here, you can still use it as an armrest. Automakers, take note, other automakers out there. That is really important because normally the cup holders are right here. So you have a cup in one side or the other. Well, you can't use it as an armrest anymore, I guess, unless you do it like that. But that just doesn't seem as comfortable. And on the rear of the center console, we're gonna have our air conditioning vents right here. And we're gonna have the adjustments. We have 4 zones of climate control here. So we have all of that. You're also going to have heated seats for the rear seat passenger. Now they're heated only for your outboard seats, but they are here. And let's see, can I find it down there? There it is. I can't see them very well from this angle, but Austin can show you real well. There is your connectivity. And before we bring everything to life here in the front seat, I wanted to tell you the sticker price because I know a lot of you want to know. Don't tell people who ask in the comments section that didn't watch the whole video. $130,760. And the reason we're filming from this vantage point is because when you get inside, here is what happens. I'm going to start everything up for you so you can see all of the graphics, the animated graphics that come up on all three of the screens. Yes, there are 3 screens here, quite a bit going on. Let's have Austin hop into the front and we'll tell you more. So let's talk about what else you're going to find here in the front seat area. And you might be able to see some of the ambient lighting here that works its way across the dash, all the way across here. Obviously, you can change that. We might get into the infotainment screen and show you some of that later on. So while Austin's looking over there at his door, let's talk about what's over there. First of all, yay for Porsche because you have seat memory on the passenger side. We don't see that in all vehicles, often on the driver's side, but not on the passenger side. So good job. We'll give Porsche a Scooby snack for that. And a nice large armrest, plenty of real estate where that is concerned, and a very large door bin. Now, before we get into the technology, let's talk about the basics, which is going to be right here. The glove box. I still don't find gloves in those glove boxes, but if we work our way up, there is Austin's screen right in front of him right there. And I'm going to let him just kind of work his way across. We're going to let him do some multitasking and film and use the screen at the same time so you can see what comes up on there. In fact, if the passenger wants to, they can even bring the instrument cluster, the driver's display up there. I don't know if he can get to that or not, but there we go. So you can see what's there as far as what's going on with how fast you're going and all that kind of stuff. And believe me, when we drop the quiet pedal, it's not the loud pedal here, it might be interesting for the passenger to see that because they're probably not going to want to look to the right or to the left as it pins you back pretty hard here. But you can see what all is there. It's very easy to use, very easy to learn, intuitive, especially if you know what to do and you don't realize that you can't scroll up or down like Austin just did. Got to give him a hard time about that. Hey, I've done it many times myself, so you can laugh at me too, not just Austin. But you can see what's there. Now, I'm going to grab the camera real quick here. And one thing that's here, I know in some models, you're not able to see the passenger screen over there from the driver's seat, but in this case you can. So seat memory here, all the features and functionality you expect to find. So the hunt and peck method does you really well as far as everything goes. And there is a button here to turn everything on or off. But when you hop inside, everything comes to life when you have the remote in your possession, so you don't really have to worry about that. And here is our digital instrument cluster. Very high tech, very nice. And right down here, nothing unusual for Porsche, but we can go through our driving modes. So we can go into Sport, we can go into Sport Plus, and as I do that, you're going to notice some changes to the ambient lighting. It lets you know that something's going on, and there is a lot going on when you do that. So depending on what you want to drive in, you can drive in normal. I don't know if I'd even call anything here normal. There's even an off-road mode that allows you to do some light off-roading. So there you go with that. But very nice. I like the way that looks. It's not too busy. That works out well. You've got your steering wheel mounted controls right here. And as you can see, I can scroll through some different things if I want to, and I'm just pushing on the scroll wheel. You can see what I'm doing right there, depending on what I want to do and what I want to see. I can scroll as well to go into different areas, depending on what we want to know about. Also, you're going to maybe be surprised to find out about this, but there is a turn signal indicator here that comes standard on these Macan Electrics. Over here, the thing I can't really say anything sarcastic about so much, but that is the control for your windshield wipers, all that good stuff, and something you'll find in all Porsches these days, right here. Nothing unusual, but I did want to point that out. You've probably already seen that. Now, let's look at our infotainment screen. And how about our cameras? Well, you obviously have cameras on and around the vehicle in quite a few different places, depending on what you want to see and where you want to see. So there's another of our views right there. So it works out nicely as far as that goes. And speaking of that, this isn't anything new for Porsche, but this is your shifter right here. If you're not used to that, I know I'm getting used to it, but obviously we go up to go into reverse. We're going to go down to go into drive right there, and then the P right there for park. So pretty simple to figure out. We can also go here into vehicle, and you can see there's a lot going on here. You can also change your driving modes here if you want to. So if you want that more high-tech feeling instead of using the selector on the steering wheel, you can do that. And then we can also go to our levels right here, off-road 1 or off-road 2. If we go to off-road 2, you can see what's going on with the vehicle. It's going to raise up just a little bit. We can feel that. I know you can't really feel that, but it is raising up. So kind of a neat little thing to have happening right there. And then depending on what you want to do, your sound, you can turn that on or off. Spoiler up, spoiler down. We didn't show you that earlier in the video, but there is a spoiler back there in the rear that you can obviously raise or lower if you want to. Let's go back in here, and I'm going to go back to this area because I wanted to show you some of the features that we have here as far as your driving features go. So obviously you're going to have your speed limit sign recognition. You can turn that on or off if you want to, whatever you want to do with that. We've got lane keeping assist, and then we can go to our additional right here. We've got speed warning. We've also got our warn and brake assist, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, and let's see here, we're also going to have emergency stop function. You can turn that on and off, by the way, if you want to. Quite a few things going on here. Intersection assist. We have distance warning. You can see everything. I don't want to read everything, but it's nice to know what's here as far as that goes. How about your trip functions here? So depending on what you need, well, there you go. Pretty easy to deal with that, figure that out. Comfort, I do want to look at that real quick. We look at our ambient lighting here. I told you you could change your ambient lighting, so we can do that right here. We can go into color and change a few things here depending on the color that you want. I don't know how well this is going to show up because it's such a bright, sunny day here, even having a little bit of shade in the interior, but hopefully you can see the colors changing right there. That poppy red just seems appropriate for all of the power that this Macan has. But you can also see what's going on there on the screen and see where it actually is. So if you're wondering where all is the ambient lighting, well, that tells you right there. And you'll notice the gear icon over here. We can go right there and we can go into more settings, display settings, for example. And I'm not going to go through everything here. I just want to show you a little bit. We have a head-up display. We also have augmented reality that is very large. So if you're used to that, that works really well. You might not be, I don't know, but you can turn that on or off if you want to. So if you want to turn augmented reality off, you can do that. It just depends on the situation. I actually would have to have navigation put in and that kind of thing for you to see that, but you can kind of see how that would work. I don't know if we can actually show you how that looks on the screen. We may try that in just a little bit. But that's just a brief tour of the screen. You can wirelessly pair your smartphone and all that good stuff. You do have built-in navigation, which I know is a big deal for a lot of you. I'm not going to go in and show you everything with that, but I do want to move on to some of the more common things that we have here, which some of that is common, obviously. Wireless charging pad is right here. Now, what's interesting is that to get to your USB and 12 volt, they're way under here. I don't know why they're located where they are, but they are. I don't know if Austin can get the camera down in there and show you, or if it will even show up. It looks like it might show up on the screen, but just to show you where that is, well, there you go. And remember earlier I said you have 4 zones of climate control? Well, we have our 2 zones in the rear and 2 zones right here in the front. So that's, again, simple to figure out. It's right there for you. You also have your heated and ventilated seat functions. There we go with that. 3 different stages for everything, and the good old-fashioned knob for controlling the volume on the radio. And you'll find a little bit more ambient lighting right here around the cup holders. So that red ambient lighting is right there. And the center console. Let's see how much space we have in there. Maybe a little bit more than you might think. It's actually pretty deep. Maybe not as lengthy as it could be. Doesn't have as much length as it could, but I think that works out. And last but not least, the upper console. Remember I told you how you can open and close the shade? We do that right here, the power shade for the sunroof. There's how you open and close the sunroof itself, and you can see what else is there. Not a lot going on where that's concerned, but it definitely works. And one more thing that is at every single door right here, the oh crap handles. That actually is very necessary, because when I drop the hammer on this thing in Sport Plus, which I did to Austin earlier, who's operating the camera. He wasn't ready for it, and it was definitely an oh crap moment. And by the way, there is a button here on the interior where you can raise and lower the height of the vehicle back here in the rear. So we'll show you that button in just a second, but you can see it lowering down. So depending on what your situation is for loading and unloading, that can be very helpful to you. I'm gonna let Austin come in and show you where that button is so you can see that. It's pretty obvious how you operate that button, but something I thought you might want to know about. All right, here we go on the test drive. My favorite part when it comes to something like this that is high performance and so fun to drive. Now, depending on your driving mode will determine, obviously, your comfort level. So I'm gonna go to normal and see what the difference is. Yeah, I can tell a little bit of a difference in the ride quality. Obviously, it's gonna be a little bit more noisy, especially with us not having the air conditioner turned way up or having any music playing or anything like that, and being that this is an EV, well, and I don't know how well you can hear the sound. Not really hearing too much, I don't think, but, and unfortunately I have no way to show you the head-up display. That would be awesome to be able to show that so you can see what's going on there with the different colors and everything, but it's just one of those things. I really don't have a way to put that in more of a POV position for you. So we're gonna go over here to Sport Plus. I think Austin's gonna hold his breath here in a second. For those of you who have seen Kerry in these videos with me, we're about to do some fighter pilot training. That's where I wish he was here, because he does breathing exercises when I do this.
Oh crap handle.
Yeah, definitely need the oh crap handle. All right, here we go.
Holy smokes. Dude, the G's. Holy moly.
That is somewhat close to the race cars I've driven over the years.
Felt like I was training to be an astronaut.
Well, there you go. Kerry calls it fighter pilot training. Austin calls it astronaut training.
I
So
didn't even realize. That was nuts. That was like Mission Space at Disney.
And what's interesting here, something I haven't experienced before, is with your lane keeping assist, if I drive up a little bit on the center line, I get a red mark, and it actually follows the contour of the center line. Kind of interesting there. Nice to have technology like that here. I think it's pretty cool. We're gonna get on down the road here and not go too crazy, because I don't have a lot of room right here to do that, but
I might pass out.
overall, definitely classic Porsche. I think Porsche does things like nobody else, whether it's EV or anything else. And I'm gonna have to be kind of careful right here, because we will have some traffic trying to merge right here in front of us. So I'm gonna try and be careful and not step on it too hard. I think we're gonna be okay. We'll probably have somebody cutting in front of us with no blinker shortly, but that's okay. We're gonna get on the interstate here and step on it again. What about the practical end of things? Well, the ride quality right now is not the best, because I'm in Sport Plus mode, but comfort mode would definitely do a lot better. And that's what's nice here, is you can configure things how you want. No surprises there. And it's a very enjoyable vehicle to drive just for basic driving. You know, once, from what I understand from people who have owned EVs, once you get all of the stepping on the gas pedal, or the loud pedal, the quiet pedal, not the loud pedal, not the gas pedal, but the power pedal out of your system, it's not as much of a temptation to do, but it is for me. There is just nothing like that. And the one thing I haven't tested here, I've found that the sweet spot, if you really want to find out what the punch in the gut experience is like with your EV, as long as it's high performance like this one is you can actually do it from about 40 miles an hour and then drop the pedal. So let's see, there's nobody behind me right now. We're gonna drop down a little bit on speed. I'm almost to 40. Wasn't quite as much as I was looking for, but I'm comfortable here in the driver's seat. I do like the bolstering. It's not too much, it's not too little. Keep you in your seat pretty well when we're cruising around, going pretty fast. And that's moving side to side, so. But I like the adjustability. I don't feel cramped here as the driver. That's not a problem. Somebody who's well over 6 feet tall is gonna fit in here with no problem in the front seat especially. And everything's easy to deal with, easy to get to all of the controls. I know you have a lot of technology here to deal with, but You definitely don't have a hard time learning that or getting to anything, especially the physical controls down here for the AC. I'm glad to see that that's here. That's a good thing. With all the technology here, you don't have that issue of controls in the infotainment screen to manage the air conditioning. So overall, A+ Porsche, in my personal opinion. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but that's what I think. Easy to see out of as well. You might wonder about that angle of the back window. That really works pretty well. I'm pretty pleased with everything we've experienced. Let's just make sure we don't end the day by running over anybody. Make sure they're paying attention. All right, tell me what you think. This is our first look at the 2024 Porsche Macan Turbo Electric. What do you think about it? Is it worth every penny? I sure think it is. It's definitely classic Porsche. If you're looking for an EV with a lot of performance potential, this is definitely it. It will put you back in the seat. It's like being on a thrill ride. Tell me what your thoughts are. I'm always curious to get your feedback. I do want to say a special thanks to our friends at Porsche Shreveport for loaning us this Macan for the day so we could tell you all about it. I also want to thank all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful to us. Make sure to share this video on your timelines on social media. Get more people to watch it. We appreciate that. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.